Should you do a Roth conversion, and how would you find out? It's through the financial planning process. I'll explain that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Should you do a Roth conversion, the process of taking pre-tax dollars previously that you'd contributed and gotten a deduction into your 401k or IRA, and move those to your Roth IRA or Roth 401k, and then doing so, you pay tax on whatever amount you transferred or converted, and then that money is now sitting in your Roth and can grow tax-free forever. Should that be part of your financial strategy? For many people, it should be. And for way more than what are actually doing it, it should be. But how do you decide? Should it be part of your financial strategy, your financial plan, your tax planning, or not? Well, we get this question all the time. Number one, when we're doing comprehensive financial planning, we answer this question for all of our clients every single year and anytime something changes, because that answer can change that frequently. However, we do get a lot of questions just randomly throughout the year from folks that we don't have a relationship with that just say, hey, I'm hearing a lot about Roth conversions. Should I do a Roth conversion? And we reply and say, actually, yeah, great question. And it's definitely something you need to consider. You've got to look at a lot of different factors in your financial life to determine if that's best. And so that's how we'd help you. And they reply back and say, no, I just really need to know if I should do one. Well, listen, figuring out whether you should be doing a Roth conversion, this is one of the quintessential financial planning, comprehensive financial planning decisions. I truly do not know how you could make a great decision about whether you should do a Roth conversion or not, or for that matter, contribute pre-tax or Roth without looking at all areas of your financial life, at least 5 of the 6 it touches. There's 6 areas to your financial life, 6 areas to my financial life, 6 areas to Bill Gates' financial life, and all that complexity. It's still 6 areas. Present financial position, that's cash flow, that's net worth, that's balance sheet, those sorts of things. Protection planning, all of the major insurances, those risks, how are you transferring those risks, how are you managing them. Tax planning, this is 3rd, that's not tax preparation. This is proactive planning, identifying opportunities, avoiding tax surprises. 4th area is investment planning. What do you have? What's your overall investment strategy? How much risk are you comfortable taking? Future return potential. 5th area is retirement planning, also college planning as well. What are your, those are a couple of the biggest goals that we all are hoping to achieve financially. So where are you today? What is that goal? Where's the track to get there? And then are you on track? And then the 6th area is estate planning. So if something happens to you or inevitably when you pass away, what's your strategy? What's your plan? What are your intentions? And do you have the right structure to carry that out? That's a crash course on the 6 areas of financial planning. But I think many people reach out or they hear about a Roth conversion, think, oh yeah, that sounds interesting. Maybe it's something I should do. Well, let me just ask, should I do it? You've got to look at all 6 areas in order to determine. And I'll kind of walk through and tell you at least 5 out of the 6 this decision directly impacts, and you've got to consider it. And if you don't, maybe you're going to get lucky and make a good decision. But you've got to look at all 6 in order to make a great decision. So first, present financial position. When you do a Roth conversion, it's going to require, you're going to pay tax. It's going to require cash flow. Do you have the cash? Do you have the money to pay the taxes? And you might say, well, I'm allowed to withhold on a Roth conversion, right? So it doesn't impact my cash flow. Yeah, if you are under age 59 and a half and you withhold taxes, that means money came out of your IRA that went to Uncle Sam and didn't land in your Roth. And therefore, not only is that money taxable, it's also penalized. You might still want to do it, but gosh, I would definitely factor that in to see if that's a wise decision. So what we say is doing a Roth conversion, the name of the game is how can I get as much money into my Roth as possible? So if you're younger than age 59 and a half, you definitely don't want to withhold and face that penalty. So do you have the cash flow to pay the tax on it? But then second, even if you are 59 and a half, if the name of the game is get as much money in the Roth growing tax-free as possible, I really wouldn't want you to withhold anyway. Is there another way, looking at your present financial position, do you have other resources where you could pay the tax as opposed to having it withheld? So that's present financial position. First area, directly directly impacts the decision to do a Roth conversion. Second area I'm going to put on hold. This is going to be the one that I'll say, maybe it's a stretch. That's protection planning. Although I would say it certainly could impact whether you decide to do an HSA or whether you are self-funded for long-term care or health insurance. Let's just say protection planning doesn't factor into the equation much for a Roth conversion. So we'll set that one aside. Third area is tax planning. Obviously, this is obviously directly centered in the middle of tax planning. It's a proactive decision. You have to decide upfront, should you move money from pre-tax to Roth, and in doing so, pay the tax in this year. So you've got to look, what tax bracket am I in? What tax credits am I getting? What deductions am I getting? Therefore, and then further guys, what tax bracket do I think I'll be out there in the future? Or will there be new taxes? Or how much will we be withdrawing in the future? Or what's my required minimum distribution out there in the future? You've got to analyze all of that within your tax plan to see whether you should be doing a Roth conversion or not. That one's the obvious one. The fourth area of your financial life is investment planning. The Roth area, the Roth conversion, this again is it's obvious. You've got to look at your investment plan in order to determine if you should do a Roth conversion. Why? Which investments from your IRA should you convert to your Roth? It makes a difference. Once the money's in your Roth, what should your investment strategy be then? If you say, well, I'm not really taking a lot of investment risk right now, it's just sitting in cash, I don't know why you'd put it in a Roth. It's not growing, and therefore the benefit of a Roth is for it to grow tax-free. There's some benefits, I don't know. So understanding, well, which investment should I pull the money from in my IRA? Then once it's in the Roth, what should I be invested in? Also, what about the state of the economy and the stock market? Well, the stock market's high. Should I do a Roth conversion? Stock market's low. Should I do a Roth conversion? You've got to be aware of both the overall markets, but your investment strategy as well when you're doing a Roth conversion, making that decision. Fifth area, another obvious one in deciding whether you should be doing a Roth conversion, retirement planning. The entire decision about, well, should I pay taxes on this now or pay them later? You're focusing on that later. Which one's better for you? And that's your retirement plan. You've got to look, and if doing the Roth conversion now improves your confidence, improves your score of your 5-factor retirement plan, absolutely, then you should be considering doing that. If you have no idea if it improves it or not, why would you be willing to volunteer to pay a lot more tax than you otherwise would if you don't know if it's going to improve your retirement or not? Will you be paying taxes today and be able to avoid some taxes out there in the future at a higher tax bracket or different tax consequences? You want to see how that impacts your retirement. Does that influence what you pay tax on in your Social Security? Does it influence your income-related monthly adjustment amount? That's also another way that this could impact your protection plan as well. So figuring out, well, if I do a Roth conversion now, does it improve the confidence of my retirement plan? Your CFP is able to answer that and walk through that with you. If you don't know, you're guessing at best. You're not making a wise decision. And then finally, estate planning, the sixth area to your financial life, my financial life, everyone's financial life. If you're doing a Roth conversion, that's a decision to say, I'm going to pay tax right now. Well, what out there in the future, or maybe, what tax bracket are you in today? But if you're married, what would the tax bracket be if you're single? Or through your estate, what tax bracket are you in right now compared to what tax bracket the kids would be in if they inherited these dollars? So being aware of that, your future estate intentions and estate plan today will help you determine, yes, we absolutely need to start doing Roth conversions, or we need to do a little Roth conversion each and every year to help that future estate plan as the wealth transfers from one generation to the next, or being aware that, well, we're married now, have certain tax brackets, tax situations, but odds of us both passing away at the exact same time, slim to none, and therefore planning for if one of us is a widower, that sort of thing. Being aware of that, understanding how the Roth conversion plays into your estate plan, that also needs to be factored. Deciding on doing a Roth conversion, it's a fantastic strategy. We do it for tons of clients. We evaluate it for all of our clients. Knowing whether you should be doing it or not and make that part of your financial plan, you've got to be doing comprehensive financial planning. Otherwise, you might be right, you might not. I don't know. How can you make a great decision? How can you make a wise decision? Got to look at all 6 areas of your financial life. Now, this video has already gone too long, but I will share. There is no cheat code. There is no shortcut. You've got to be doing comprehensive financial planning. Done some videos on this in the past. I'll just include it here as well. When are 3 times where I would say it's even more likely you should be doing a Roth conversion? 1, when you're young. When you're young. Now, you've got some other challenges as well, because how are you going to pay the tax and some of the things I just mentioned. But when you're young and you have more time for those dollars that you move from your IRA to your Roth to grow tax-free, advantage Roth conversion. That's a time where you definitely need to sit down with your CFP, see if you should do it. 2, at a time when you say, all right, I know I'm in a low tax bracket today. I know we're going to be in a higher tax bracket out there in the future. Why? Maybe you're 1 income right now and we'll be going back to 2 income. Maybe right now you're in a job, a job, and you're not in your career yet. You're studying for your career, and so you know I'm going to be in a higher tax bracket out there in the future. Maybe you've done the math, the planning to say, when I start my RMD and I'm doing Social Security, I'm going to be in a higher tax bracket than I'm in right now, therefore should be doing a Roth. When you can see, yep, I know, based on all the rules that we know of right now, I will be in a higher tax bracket, that's the time to consider doing the Roth today. And then finally, after the market declines, and I'm not talking, on average every single year, we're going to see about a 14% decline in the market at some point. I'm talking about a big decline, a bear market, 25% drop, a 30% drop, something like that. Again, is that a no-brainer? Oh, everyone needs to do a Roth conversion? No, but advantage Roth conversion. That's another time to consider it, so that as you shift the dollars, and again, this gets back to investment planning, the rebound eventually, whenever that occurs, happens in a tax-free account versus in the taxable account. There again, guys, got to be working with a certified financial planner. This isn't just a quick question you can text over or email over or leave in a comment and expect to get a great answer. You've got to be doing comprehensive financial planning. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@Korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.